First class trip across the Atlantic. Make sure you put them laces out. I've been out and about, and I'm loud cause I found another sound. And I'll pound on the ground for my guys across the pond. Kick is matter, that's their song. Trust me when that word is bone. Y'all can clap, clap, sing along. But on the wheel, they got some real deal analysis. Take the wheel, I think I feel like a catalyst. For this build, you know your boy is never out of it. Matter of fact, I think I'll go and win a championship. KMWO, KMWO. Man, you know how this go. Yeah. KMWO. Kickers matter, world order. Man, y'all already know. Let's go.
Hi everyone, welcome along to Kickers Matter Fantasy Football Podcast. We have the fantastic Rich King and Ben Rolfe on with us this week to talk all things UKFL, and Rich has got a new book out, which I know Ben's done some bits and pieces in as well. So how you doing, gents?
I'm good, yeah, very good.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not too bad, thanks. And I am also joined by, well, we'll start with him, Tim, just to keep him happy. Mr. Happy Bollocks. How you going, Jamie?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm all good.
Evening,
Timbo?
lads.
I'm swell. I'm swell, mate. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, that said, so we're going to talk all things UKFL Season 2. Things didn't go to plan for me in Season 1. So I'm hoping I get an invite back and a chance to claim that crown, basically.
Lads,
Well, we'll see how this goes, and then we'll make a decision.
can we make sure that me and Jack are in the same division again, please? Because I want to beat him again.
Yeah, we can discuss that.
I'm just going to set up multiple sign-ups on different accounts, parody accounts and things.
I've already done that.
Can we just talk about who finished highest here last year in UKFL?
Wasn't me.
No, let's just move on, mate.
Did anyone finish top 10 other than me?
No one cares, Ben. No one cares.
Does anyone else find it a bit suspicious that one of the people who created it finished so highly?
Yeah, but in fairness, I also tanked it, so
You didn't have to be part of the conversation on the night before the final Monday night football game, where I debated whether or not I had to throw it so it didn't look suspicious if I won it.
that was a genuine chat, actually. To be fair,
Yeah, me and Rich had multiple back and forth over that.
To be fair, Craig won it, so it's suspect anyway.
Craig, we do love you.
Yeah, Craig's in multiple leagues with us. So I think that's the first league he's ever won.
that's a good one to win.
Bless him. We love you, Craig.
We do.
So, but to start us off tonight, Timbo has got a game for us. We did a game last year, gents, when we had you on, and it was good fun. I think I was awful in it. If I seem to remember.
Pretty
But
normal
I had
for a game.
Yeah,
I feel like I was doing
normal.
really well, and then I got a bit too big for my boots, and Ben just clutched it at the end.
It's amazing what Google can do.
Well, to be fair, Rich hasn't got his video up, so we can't tell if he's cheating or not.
You've not seen me type, mate. No,
I literally can't. The game anyway is tenable. We've done it on the pod before, so there's 10. It's the top 10 of whatever question I ask you. You've got 10 guesses, and I'll keep a score of how many, and then there is a tiebreaker question as well.
I thought you were going to say we had 10 minutes each then.
No, absolutely not. I think the last time we did this, we probably took about 10 minutes per question. So we'll see how it goes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Rich first of all.
Okay.
And I've done it based around the Packers because I was informed you're a Packers fan.
Oh, I am, but now I feel pressure. That's unbelievable. Thanks a lot.
Exactly. So you've got 10 guesses to get 10 out of 10. And what you've got is the top 10 most receptions on the Packers last year.
Ooh.
Last year, I mean, anyone who suited up, surely.
Well, that isn't an answer.
Okay. Okay, so am I starting now?
Yeah, go when you're ready.
Okay, so Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Alan Lazard.
He is in there, yeah. Do you want to know
Ooh.
positions?
No, I don't. Just, I'm going to go balls out.
Cool.
Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
Yep.
Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Jimmy Graham.
Yep.
How many guesses is that? I've had 4. Jamal
that's
Williams.
5, and yep, that's correct. 6.
Geronimo Allison. Probably
Yep.
not. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes.
well, even he got in there.
Did 10
Unbelievable.
Packers catch the ball last year?
This is why I'm struggling. I might even start talking about punters in a minute.
Wasn't Aaron Jones number 2 on this list?
He was, mate.
That explains a lot.
Now I'm lost. Jake Cumro.
Yep.
I don't know where I'm going now. I think we'll just have to call it there. How many is that?
Go on, you've got 2 more guesses.
How many? Oh, 2 more. Okay. Well, Equinemius St. Brown was injured before the start of the season. We had. Who do we have a running back? I can't. This is really embarrassing.
Well, I mean, you've named 8 of the 10. It's not that embarrassing.
Well, yeah, but like at the point, I think we're at the point where we just start naming janitors, aren't we?
Go on.
I actually think I know one of them.
I tell you what I'll do as well.
Go on,
like if you don't get them, I'll offer them out to the group. Fastest answer for extra.
Call our name to say, well, basically a buzzer.
Yeah, I can't think of any more, to be honest.
Right, Ben.
Gave it.
One of them's definitely Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him last night for their projections.
5.
Tight end. Robert Tonyan. Tonyan, is it?
Yeah, that's correct.
This is a little bit unfair because I did their projections last night.
Well, this it might see how it goes for you on the next one then if you did the Patriots.
Yeah, now the pressure's on Ben.
So the question for you is the top 10 in receiving yards last year for the Patriots, which, by the way, was an absolute doozy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I'll start with Edelman.
Yep.
And James White, because they're the only 2 that can catch.
That is the top 2.
And then Dorsett had some good games.
Yep.
Rex Burkhead.
Yeah.
I don't think Harry played enough, so I'm not going to go him. Oh, Josh Gordon was quite good while we had him.
No.
Really? Wow.
I know one.
So sorry, I've said Edelman, White, Dorsett, Burkhead, Myers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're talking receiving yards. I don't even know who else caught a ball for the Patriots. Ben Watson.
Yep.
Did I guess Mohamed Sanu? He probably threw.
Yeah, Sanu was number 3.
What, in receiving yards for the Patriots?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Matt Lacoste, the other tight end.
Yeah.
And then I think it's another tight end, but I've only got the names of the ones this year in my head, so I'm going to have to pass.
Jamie.
Oh, go on, Jamie.
Brandon Bolden.
Yep.
How many more?
There's one
Nice
more.
Google there,
Wow.
Jamie.
No.
How many did Josh Gordon have then? Because I'm sure he had a few.
Didn't he only play like 2 games, the Patriots?
I thought he played half a dozen, but maybe I'm wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Antonio Brown on this list. 1 game. I wouldn't be surprised.
The other one's a tight end, but I can't think what his name is. I'm sure it is.
It is a tight end. I'll give you that. To be fair, this list isn't showing Josh Gordon. So unless it's shown by whoever,
I know the tight end name.
Later, so unless this just categorises people by the team that they finished on.
I call a steward's inquiry.
Well,
Izzo
if it's not on the sheet, it's not right.
Is it Izzo or Izzy or something like that?
Izzo, that's his name, Jamie. You're right.
It is Izzo.
Was he a rookie or a second year or?
He was rubbish.
Yeah, that was obvious.
Okay, so Jamie, you got an extra 2 points there.
Oh.
So, Jamie, your question is who was the most targeted top 10 running backs in the league?
McCaffrey. Why have I had a blank?
This is targeted for receptions, by the way.
Yeah, McCaffrey, Eckler.
Yep.
Damien Wood. No, didn't finish the name. Kamara.
Yep.
Freeman.
Yeah.
He did a lot at the back end of the season. James White.
Yep.
Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
He had over 100, didn't he?
It's incredible.
Yeah, people are sleeping on Tariq Cohen this year. I think he'll be okay.
He can't carry the ball, but he can catch.
Oh, Aaron Jones.
No.
Really?
He was the second highest on the Packers, and he's not in the top 10 running backs. Fuck.
Yeah. That's weird.
And it just shows how bad the Packers are, to be honest. So.
Well, no, it was receiving yards, and this is now targets. So he just, when he caught a ball, he just ran at 90.
No, it was receptions, actually.
It was targets.
I got.
Oh, see Ben, targets. Listen.
I really want to say one, but I'm not going to because he was injured. Oh, feck it. I'm just going to say it anyway. Barkley.
Yeah.
Really?
He still played like 12 games.
You've got three to get with 2 guesses.
I think I'm going to struggle. Todd Gurley.
No.
Nope.
He carried a lot last year, didn't he? But he didn't receive a lot.
I think he's going to be really good this year. Sorry, Jamie. I know you don't like him, but
I agree with that.
Mainly because everyone else there is rubbish.
Yeah.
Philip Lindsay.
No.
Ben.
Yes, Ben.
Leonard Fournette, because this surprised me last night.
Yeah.
And I can't believe you didn't say Zeke.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Austin Eckler?
He said Eckler. He was rubbish in the run game.
One Jack.
Yeah.
James White?
He said that. Ben, I think I've got it.
Fair enough.
I think it's Lev Bell.
It is Lev Bell. 3 points to Ben.
Nice.
So you do your projections before you come on a podcast. It really helps.
We do no preparation for this podcast.
Sorry, I've cheated definitely then.
Jack, your question is most targeted wide receivers.
Michael Thomas.
Well, yeah.
That was pretty easy.
30 clear of anyone else.
He was pretty good. Julio Jones.
Yep. Ben, you're banned from answering any that get missed, by the way.
Oh,
Targeted receivers. Keenan Allen.
Yeah. When I did it on receptions, he was third. He had the third most receptions.
Nuke.
Yeah, Nook's on it.
Chris Godwin.
No.
Wow.
really? I remember from last night, Jack, it is really, really stacked from about 8 or 9 down through about 20. They're really close together.
It's got to be. He has to be on this. Is Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm saying. Bobby Woods.
Yep.
Okay, now this is horrible. How many have I got so far? 5.
1, 2, 3, 6. 4 to get. 3 guesses.
DJ Moore.
Yep.
I would give you a hint, but
No.
I'm not going to, Jack, because it's Jack,
Jarvis Landry.
and he doesn't need one, apparently.
Oh,
I'm not going to say that.
I thought. Odell Beckham.
No.
Jamie.
I'm still in.
Oh, motherfucker.
No, you're not.
No, I think you've run out.
Have I run out?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Please, 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 please tell me this player's in here.
I know who you're going to say, and it is.
It's Alan Robinson!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off!
His catch at Tottenham last year was amazing.
I love Alan Robinson, and Jamie was putting him down all of last year.
Because of his
Before the
QB.
season. Yes, but he's an excellent wide receiver.
Yeah, but now he's got Nick Foles, so he's the GOAT.
Exactly.
God.
What?
No.
We don't mention that man's name.
Who's going to get the last one?
Ben, because I've already said his name once tonight.
There's one more player.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't let Ben answer.
Oh, okay. I'm going for the obvious one. It's got to be Edelman.
It is.
Yuck.
Cool. So, in last place,
Was me.
joint last, we've got Jack and Rich.
Yeah, I don't like this game.
Yeah, stupid game.
And then in second place, we've got Jamie.
Ah, mother. Well played.
But I've got another question, and what I can do is fastest answers.
Yep.
And see who can rack up some extra points if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Who's the top 10 most targeted tight ends?
Ben, Kelsey.
Kittle. Jack, Kittle.
Hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts.
What one?
Yeah.
What?
You got Kittle, Jack,
I
and
got Hurts.
Damien, you've got.
Jack. Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Ben, Waller.
Yeah.
I said
Jack.
Waller.
Jack. Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
Ben Goddard.
Amy Mike Gesicki.
Was that you,
Jack.
Jack?
Yeah, that was me.
Ben Jason Witten.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Jamie Higby.
Yes. Right, let me add up the scores there. Ben, you've got one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell Ben won.
that was the only time you spoke up then, Rich.
Yeah, I just I just still getting butt hurt from being last, so just don't want to play anymore. Stupid game. This wasn't on the show doc. That's what I'm saying.
This is basically rage quit.
Oh, Doc. Fucking hell.
I
Kind
was
of a podcast you think we are.
Was that you rage quitting, Rich?
Yeah, it's rage quit. Yeah, I'm gonna just grass on you to Activision.
Speaking of rage quit, my Warzone has finally downloaded, so that's getting a caning after this. Right, cheers, Tim. That was a stupid game. Well done, Ben. Typical Patriots cheating somehow.
Well, I just want to point out, I should have said this at the time, I'm no longer a Patriots fan. I'm either a Chiefs or a Buccaneers fan. So come on. I've moved on. They either need to be winners or have Brady.
So we brought you two on basically to discuss the UKFL tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it last year, even though I was in the same division as Jamie, and he beat me. I drafted poorly.
I got lucky.
Yeah. So you are lucky, really. So, boys, any major changes to it this year?
So we're hoping to go up to 300. We just need to wait and see what we get in terms of sign-ups. We're pretty close now to that, Rich, to have enough to go up to 300.
Yeah, I think we probably do. I mean, inevitably we're going to have some amount of dropouts because that's what we had last year as well. Like people who sign up and then decide actually no, they don't want to play for whatever reason. But yeah, no, it'd be nice to take that next step up, and I think we probably can because we had a load of people that actually signed up for it as the drafts were going on.
Yeah, and once the invites were going out as well, and people were saying they'd got in and stuff, that was really good. A bit like what you see with the Scott Fish Bowl, but on a smaller extent. You see people tweeting about it, and people want to be part of it. It's a lot of fun that way.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can find a way of getting some more people going. So, as you know, last year, I sponsored the winner.
Actually, it was a result of this podcast, I believe, like this equivalent one last year.
It was.
Yeah.
So I was a listener then, and I've been lucky enough to now be a co-host. Let's see what the next year has in store for me.
I wouldn't call it lucky. But...
I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking.
I'll wait for this to be called Tim Matters. We're, as Kickers Matter, we're going to sponsor the winner again, so there's going to be another helmet. The winner. So
fantastic!
Thank you very much, guys.
So hopefully there's a nice prize. Again, this is all for good causes, for everything like that. So
yeah, and actually, let's just touch on that as well. So last year we did it for cancer research. Result, obviously, I had a personal connection to that, and basically, I've kind of this year's been kind of like a bit of an interesting one for me, like in terms of personal growth. So. I kind of struggled with some mental health things around this year, and so basically it all came to a head when during this lockdown period, some of my friends said, "Oh, we're gonna have this Zoom call," and I was like, "I can't do it," and they were like, "Well, what are you doing then?" And the answer was, I had a therapy session, and so it came out, and then I thought, do you know what? There's no reason to shy away from this, and actually, it'd be good if more people feel like they can talk about mental illness. So I literally messaged Ben and said, how would you feel about us doing the change of charity for this year to Mind? And he was like, yeah, I don't have a problem. And that's when I actually then tweeted out from my personal account to say, this is what's been going on in my life. And yeah, so this year we're having Mind as our chosen charity, which is it's a fantastic cause.
Yeah,
similar to cancer research.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think my I know my issues that I've had the last sort of year as well, Rich, because you reached out to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm fully on board with that. It's a great charity, and the more people that speak out about things like this, the better, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So as for rosters, is there going to be any changes there? Are you going to move to a super flex or a tight end premium, or
we're still arguing about this because we want to do something a little bit different to keep it fresh and interesting, but we also want to keep it so that everybody from beginner to the experienced guys like you guys who have a lot of experience playing fantasy football and do your own rankings and stuff like that and have all the systems set up to be able to project and do all of that are still able to feel like you're getting some enjoyment out of it. It's not just a league you're in because you feel like you have to be. It's a league you actually enjoy being in, which I know, including for myself, all of my leagues are very varied. I like to have a different league that have different scorings all over the place. I like to vary it up a lot. So we have been talking about it. We've and ahed ideas from what Scott Fish is doing, where he's actually having points for completions and incompletions. But we thought we would stay away from that. We're going to stick with the PPR format. We're going to go to 6 points per pass and touchdown and tight end premium. So we are going to boost the value of tight ends, perhaps in a similar way to what Jason's done in the league that I'm in with you guys, the Campus to Canton League, where he's actually put a whole extra point on for them, so doubling them up. So that really does increase the value of the likes of Kelsey and Kittle and people like that, and even some of the lower guys. We're still sort of deciding whether we want to go super flex or not, because obviously that is the standard now, and it actually not super flex is kind of the mix up at this point to some extent. But we're also conscious that we don't want to completely devalue devalue quarterbacks by not having it super flex, aren't we, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, at the heart of it, this league is also kind of set up for those people who don't have the ability to play in a league with decent owners, of which there's loads of people. Because we had loads of people reach out to us last year and say, this is the only league that I play in. And because it's the only league that they can get in with, someone who's not just going to leave after week one. So we want to make it really accessible for everyone. So the easiest way to do that, pardon?
It's an unbelievable point, that. So, this time last year, I was just getting into playing Dynasty and really getting stuck into kind of the community and getting to know everyone, like the guys I co-host with now and you. And off the back of the UKFL last year, 3 people from my league then messaged in a separate group and said, "Oh, we'd really quite like to set up another league and maybe get into Dynasty." And I've now got those guys in another league. So it was the first one I did for the pod as well. So it spawns out and grows your network, and it also gets more people playing with people who they see at a similar level or a level that they want to go and aspire to, like, playing against the likes of you guys on the pod. So I think that's a great point, and I think it'll boost a lot of people and get more people in more leagues.
And that's like one of the primary objectives, is to just give people like a decent group to play with. And as you say, like if more people played in leagues as a result of this, then I would honestly just think that's a phenomenal success.
Yeah, I think you should already say that last year was a success, and you're obviously ready to build on it with this new league. Yeah,
I mean it. I'll be honest, my expectations for the league were not that high, and it just seemed like everyone was just really enjoying it, and to be someone who's been part of doing that. Like, I don't know about you, Ben, but like I just loved it personally.
Yeah, it was so much fun to see that buzz about it. We kind of went into it. Probably, if you go back and listen to this podcast, you'll hear us say aiming for 60, aiming for 120, and I'm fairly sure Jack promised us that he'd make sure we had more than 60 or 120, and we ended up thinking we almost thought we were going to run 300 last year. And I remember Rich messaging me, telling me that I could drop that idea immediately because he was doing all the organisation and I was just the ideas person. So either I stepped up and did the work, or we kept it at 240. So we kept it at 240 because I didn't want to step up and do the work. But essentially it ended up being 240. It was almost the perfect number. I don't actually think by the end, Rich, anybody was left on the wait list. I think everybody that applied and responded got a position. So we had an excess, but by the time we weeded out duplicates and we'd got rid of people that had just lost interest or didn't turn up on draft day, we actually ended up getting pretty much everybody in, which was absolutely great. And then to see the excitement and to see people asking to sign up for this year during the draft last year, again, both drove Rich nuts because he meant he had to sort of think about setting up a sign-in form in the middle of drafts and being messaged 40 times a day by people about what was going on in their drafts. But it was just so great to see the enthusiasm and to see people getting into fantasy for the first time, and who now I see on Twitter, on Facebook, are now active members of the community in fantasy football, tweeting back and forward with people and are having a lot of fun with it. So it's really good. It's been absolutely great. It's more than we expected, and if we can get to 300 this year, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, I'd take that as a really good badge of honour if we get to that. That'd be phenomenal.
I'm guessing, lads, it's still going to be held on Sleeper this year.
Yep, that's the plan. I mean, to be honest, that is more like, I have to say, the guys at Sleeper were really quite supportive, like throughout the whole process as well, like in helping.
Yeah. Well,
in helping me understand, like, actually what this is going to actually what we're going to need to do, and what they can do to support us. And now, in all honesty, a lot of people who've never played before are just so used to that app that it seems stupid to just walk away for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, most of my leagues now have moved over to Sleeper. I mean, I play in a lot of them with one of you lot or another in some form. So I know you're all big fans of it. But I mean, just in terms of usability and everything, it just offers so much. And it really has made redundant any of my leagues that were on the NFL.com website, on Yahoo, even ESPN to some extent. I only really use them for leagues like auction leagues, which Sleeper doesn't currently kind of support, but we're not doing at this stage. So it really is going to stay there. Obviously, the other option would be to go and have a look at what my fantasy league offers, but this is all about making things easy, and Sleeper just makes things easy. It's such a friendly interface that, as with anything, there's the odd thing that will drive you a little bit insane after a little while. You'll be looking for a setting that you can't find or something, but just in general, it's such an easy, friendly for everybody user face. And I don't think we had many complaints about being on Sleeper last year, which was great.
No, I mean, if anything, we actually had like a lot of people say, "Oh, I thought, like, when I've played before, it was really difficult," and actually they were saying like how they thought it was really easy now. So, if anything, we had positive feedback.
I think that's the one thing with Sleeper. It's so user friendly for anyone, really, from people like us that play in stupid amounts of leagues, or people like you say that play in one league. It is so user friendly like that. I mean, I've had a few issues with it. Like Ben said, you find the odd little issue. It's nothing major, but as a product, as an app, it's fantastic for fantasy.
The app is if you think a majority of people are going to use their phone or a tablet, aren't they, for their fantasy? I very rarely use my laptop. It's all basically on my phone, and for people who do that, which I would guess is a majority of people, it's just ease of use and the usability, as we've all said. And if it works for the UKFL, then I think continue it with Sleeper and getting the support that they were giving you before is fantastic.
It's got its limitations, but for us, for the amount of leagues that we run, and we have a lot of people who are in multiple leagues, and we have a lot of people that it might be their first league with us, and I think it gives a nice, easy, stable platform for people. But that isn't saying that you can't run certain leagues on MFL, especially if you want really detailed and lots of changes in leagues. Platforms like that give you that ability. But for me, I have everything on Sleeper, and it makes my life a lot easier. Well, so what's have you worked on the kind of the format for winning, how to get through to the playoffs? Are there any changes for winning? Because I know last year, if you won your league, you didn't necessarily get through. Is that right, or there was certain nuances?
So I think I'm not going to confirm anything right now, because until we've got the final numbers, we're not sure what the playoff picture is really going to look like. But I can't really imagine that we're going to make too many changes, because actually the way that, and this is one of the things that Ben actually did do, is he sketched out how the playoffs were going to look, and we kind of wanted to reward and give everyone something to fight for.
Yeah.
So, you could make it if you were just the top scorer in your division, which means if you've been unlucky and lost a couple of games, then you can still make it through. So we actually had really good feedback on that. So it's very difficult because while it is our league, quote unquote, I don't really see it that way. I see it as like essentially me and Ben are stewards for what the masses kind of want to play.
Yeah.
So until someone kicks off and says, actually, no, I prefer that we do it this way, I can't see a reason to change it.
Yeah, so last year we offered buys to people who won the league, to won their division or league or whatever, whichever way around it is, and people who finished top scorer in their 12-team league. So those people then got a buy through the first week. No, they didn't. We split them into two pots. That was it. Everybody that won the league or finished top, they went into one side, and then the next two people that qualified from each league, that was either second and third place or third and fourth, depending on where the other guys finished in the league, they would then play off. And basically it ended up so that if you were one of the teams that finished at the top of your division, you got essentially 2 opportunities to make the final. And if you made the final on the first opportunity, you got 2 weeks with which to register your best score. So it was basically trying to balance it so that what I don't like is I don't like the idea that, let's say Jamie was the highest scorer in the entire tournament. I don't like the idea then that Jamie could get knocked out in the first round because everybody just gets put into a pot together. Or Jamie has a bye week in week 13 and then gets knocked out the following week because somebody else has had 2 hot weeks, kind of thing. So we wanted to try and make sure that the people that did the best got the most opportunities to win. And I'm fairly sure it was somebody who was in that sort of first bucket, that first bracket, that went on to win it. So that worked out quite nicely. And it really did mean that for everybody else, you were playing knockout every single week. So I went through the lower route and I just scraped through the first week, just scraped through the second week, and then ended up having a really good final week to get into that top 10. But it was always going to be hard for me to overcome the guy who'd had a great week the week before, but had 2 opportunities. So that was kind of how I did it. I sort of sketched it on the back of an envelope and then sent it to Rich, and then half of it was missing because my daughter stole my pen. So you can see that this was professionally done by me. The one bit I did do, I really, really put all my effort into. But it worked really well. I'd like to keep it. We'll just have to work on the numbers, but no matter how big the league is, we will be able to work the numbers out. We would try to take 4 people from each league, and then it's just a narrowing down process. Generally, we were just halving it to make it easy.
Cool. Nice.
Sounds good.
Guys, have you got any more questions? I've got one more, but it's a little bit off on a tangent.
You go for it, mate.
Because this obviously doesn't take enough of your time. Have you thought about doing a best ball version? Because you've obviously got the best ball spreadsheet that you can get with the Hall of Fame version of the book.
Well, actually, so let's just plug the book really quick.
Nice transition.
Actually, for the month of June, you actually get the best ball app with any version of the book, and then it will just be on the Hall of Fame and probably MVP level. But I don't think I don't think we'll go best ball this year because the one thing that I don't want to do is just rush into something. So I'd much rather wait a year and then make sure actually everything is kind of good and there's actually an appetite for it rather than try and run something on a large scale in the same way. Now, that being said, obviously we do have this tool. So me and Ben have been talking about just getting some leagues set up just for people to play in, but it won't be part of a larger competition as such.
Yeah, absolutely. You've also got to remember, guys, me and Rich have got 4 kids under 3 between us in our family. So if we tried to do that, we would probably both be killed, and only one of us or neither of us would be here to do this on the podcast for you next year because one of us would have been killed by our wife, if not both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already on pretty thin ice, so pretty sure it'll be me.
I've been on thin ice since I was married, so.
Well, that was a great transition, Tim, into Rich's book. I've, as I say, I purchased it. It's fantastic, Rich. I love the projections and the database sheets myself. I'm useless at Excel and I'm useless at Google Sheets, so stuff like that for me is brilliant. And I know you've just done one for the Scott Fish Bowl as well, which is even, I'm really thankful for that. So yeah, what was the inspiration behind the book?
So, being totally honest, the story behind the book starts at like Christmas, so round about my birthday. Basically, I got chatting to someone, you do at Christmas, and they were saying, what kind of hobbies are you into? And I said, fantasy football. And he said, oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about it. And then I proceeded to make him question his choice of saying that he thought that was interesting, because I then just gnawed the ear off him for the next couple of hours. And then he basically said, well, if you've got real passion for it, like, why don't you try and write this down, like write a book or something? And I was like, that sounds a bit try hard. But then I basically set up a Google sheet and then just started writing. And then it just became this big project, essentially. My wife did a lot of the proofreading, so she actually read the entire book. So she said that she thinks she could do a draft now. So I might push her in a league.
Do it, mate. Get her in a league with us.
I don't think
she's up against.
I don't think she's quite ready for that. But yeah, so it just basically started from there, and then the more I kind of wanted to do it, the more fun I found it, and actually it became like a real labour of love. And it almost got to a point where my wife was like, you just have to release this now, because I just kept like going, oh, but I could add this. Oh, but I could add this. So so I released it. I know Jamie, I was speaking to you while I was doing it on which was great. Great to like bounce ideas off. And then I reached out to a couple of guys that I write with, some like great, like award-winning writers from Rotoballer, and then I finally got my star contributor in Ben.
I wondered where that was going.
I was waiting for that as well.
Yeah, I wondered how I was going to get introduced into that. So put it this way: Rich messaged me at lunchtime on a Wednesday, which just so happens to be the day that my wife looks after the kids for me, so I can have a day where I don't tear what's left of my hair out. And he said, you need to write something for this book. And I'd actually been working on an idea that I was getting ready to pitch to a couple of websites to put on, like just some numbers-based stuff. And I was like, I have the perfect idea. So it's just perfect timing, really, because otherwise you'd had to hold the book up for a week while I tried to crunch numbers and come up with something, because as Rich will tell you, it takes me a long time to work through and make sure I know everything is how I want it to be. So it was great. I proofread it, and I was honoured that he asked me, to be quite honest, because it's just nice to have your name in print somewhere, even if like websites come and go. Like I put a lot of stuff up on FF Statistics last year that as a website now doesn't exist. Yeah. And
I was a subscriber to that last year.
And to just lose your stuff, and so to know that whatever happens, I'll have a copy of something I wrote was just a really nice feeling, really nice touch from Rich, and I was really thankful. And obviously, my name on the book just boosts the star power. So.
Yeah, I mean, I needed some reason to sell it, and I just thought, who shall I ask? I've asked literally everyone else I know. Right, Ben. No, in all honesty, and this is going to sound really beg-friendly, I basically messaged Ben and said, look, mate, I need you to write something for this book, and I don't even care what it is. I just want your name on it. That's
how good I am.
That's literally the chat. I was like, look, this feels really odd, because let's be totally honest. Ben kind of gave me like my shot essentially at writing, right? To put it bluntly, like he reached out to the guys at Rotoballer and got me like that gig, and that's kind of where everything has grown from for me. So like in terms of people who've been an influence in what I've done, Ben's a massive part of what I've done. So I wanted him to be on the book, and fortunately he there's this like COVID thing going around that meant that he had the time to do it.
Yeah, and he's been doing all my hard work ever since on all my work crazy ideas. So I feel like we've paid each other back quite nicely on that.
You're even. You're both even now.
I come up with crazy ideas and just pitch them to Rich, who then runs away with them.
Yeah, he just goes, I reckon if you did this in a spreadsheet, it might be all right. And then
That's perfect.
I go, okay, yeah, let me try it. Let me try it.
Do you know what? Like, again, this is going to sound, but we've got you on. This is going to sound very sort of sucky uppy to you, but no, I genuinely mean this. Do you know what I generally like with the book, that it doesn't target the basic. Well, to me, it doesn't seem like it just targets the basic audience. So like, there's a target there for experienced fantasy players like myself, which is what I actually messaged the guys. I'm myself, I don't normally buy books or anything like that for fantasy. As you guys know, I do my own rankings and things like that. But I tend to find that books and things date very quickly, because, as we all know, fantasy is, well, it's a 24/7 thing, isn't it? It moves so quickly. One player can get traded and then all hell breaks loose normally. So again, like, without sounding very sucky uppy, I love the fact that you targeted everyone with, like, it's a massive target audience with the book.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that was my idea. Is I wanted something that was kind of timeless, because what I felt was the market had a lot of things that say you should draft this player over this player because I say so. Like, you know, someone thinks that I'm important, and what I wanted to do was give people like the tools to make their own decisions and say, okay, so why should I draft this guy over this guy? Because actually, then you only need to. And this is where I'm not very good in like sales and stuff, because you only actually really need to buy it once. Like, I'm going to update it year to year, but really the bulk of the book is going to be that for the next however long, you know, it goes for. So
what I'd feed into that is it's not just a book. And the thing that I've taken from it is, because I tend to glance at a book once, take a couple of bits from it, and then it goes away, and I might dip back into it if something triggers me to go back into it. But it's the spreadsheets, it's that draft board, it's everything else that you can add to it. And you think you can almost add a supplementary, right, okay, next year this is the latest edition of our spreadsheet. I am a salesman, as you can tell. So you can almost make advancements onto the spreadsheet for other people later on at a lower fee. You can do loads of stuff that once they've got those basics, or they've got the core bit of the book, they can go off. They've got that spreadsheet. They've got almost their Bible, which is a spreadsheet of how they can work out certain rankings, and they can put their own rankings in alongside it. So I think you've absolutely given people the tools, but you've also given them almost access to you guys for future help as well, and so you become almost like a trusted advisor, which is more than a book.
Thanks, man. That means a lot, because that's kind of like what I was trying to aim for. So that's nice.
Tim, you've nailed that. To be fair, I'm useless with words. So Tim has nailed that. Tim was on the same lines as me. What I really meant, but Tim is a salesman.
That's why we're a good team, mate. So,
and the thing as well is as you guys know, as we all know, because we all do the same thing to some extent. This industry is very crowded now. Let's be honest. If you don't stand out, you're not gonna build a following. It is very hard to build a following of huge numbers, because there is so many people doing so much good stuff. Like, we're all in, I know the Kickers Matters group's in, but with me and Rich as well, in a fantasy football support group with about 50 other analysts who are all absolutely brilliant and who all deserve to have thousands of people reading their work because they produce such great stuff. And so something like Rich's spreadsheets that are so simple to use, that's where I did my projections. The only complaint I have is that he had Max Williams as the Cardinals' main tight end and not Dan Arnold, but we'll circle back to that. Having something like a spreadsheet there that actually helps you formulate your own rankings and is easy to use, because you can find other projection spreadsheets out there, but they're not easy to use. They take a long time to wrap your head around. I sort of did a comparison with two yesterday with Rich to have a look at what a different one was like compared to his. And I said, yours is so easy because it's all there on the screen, but it's simple. And I gave him a few things to potentially that might even add a bit of user friendliness in the future, because I am also a spreadsheet geek. But it's such an easy tool, and I think that really helps you, like, Rich's product stand out. So I think we've all been too nice to Rich now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm welling up here, guys.
I felt like I had to be nice because he was nice to me, so I felt like I had to be nice back.
So actually, on that, Ben, you know, where it says Max Williams, you can just type Dan Arnold and it'll pull him.
I know.
Okay, I just wanted to say that. So, like, if there's someone who I've listed in there who you think there's no way that guy's playing, like this Odell Beckham guy in Cleveland, like I haven't heard of this guy. You know, you can just overtype with another player's name and it will pull their like historical stats and everything through. So it's
essentially
all kind of
any of the Giants players, really.
Yeah, it's all kind of there for you, like ready to go.
What you've done that I kind of took from it all, Rich, is you've done it in a way that you're not telling people who they should draft. You're giving them the tools and everything for them to actually make their own decision, rather than reading another book who says, well, this player's here, you must take him if he's at this position or whatever it will be. Whereas you're giving them the tools that they can make their own decisions, which basically, as the boys have said, helps everyone learn. So next year they will know more, and then the year after, and so and so and so. And for me, that's a huge thing, just in general.
Thanks a lot. It means a lot. It really does mean a lot. Like it's great that people are enjoying reading it, and you know, it's nice hearing like positive feedback. Like I've only had positive feedback on it, but it's great to hear.
Cool. So you are an easy tool. There you go.
I tell my wife that.
With the 59th pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Roberto Aguayo, kicker, Florida State. Yeah. Kickers are second rounders too, baby.
Right, gents, the time has come for the Robbie Aguayo corner. What people listen to the pod for, really. Where it'll either be a hit or, more than likely than not, a wide right miss. Jack, let's start with you. What have you got, mate? Hit or miss?
So I'm going to start us off with a miss. So the latest Call of Duty Modern Warfare update come out today. Jamie, I know this is out of your territory. We know that you're still running your Nintendo SNES there. So every time they release one of these updates, it's normally about 80 gigabytes. So I just looked. I'm up to about 280 gigabytes for one game. My Xbox itself only holds 500 gigabytes. So that is half of the hard drive on one game. Call of Duty, Activision, love these updates, I really do. But can we not make them so big, please? And can we not make it that I have to turn my Xbox on before I go to work in the morning, and then when I get home at night, it's still only halfway done?
Painful.
Rant over.
It's absolutely painful. So
I wouldn't know, boy. I wouldn't know.
You're still using memory cards, aren't you, Jamie?
That's a memory card.
But
Tim, what have you got, mate? Hit or miss?
It's a hit. It's kind of a preemptive hit. It's my daughter's 3rd birthday tomorrow, so just been planning for that this week and just making sure she has a really good time with the still being locked down and this bubble shite. So to be fair, yeah, just a big hit. Looking forward to seeing her face with the presents, and we've created a princess bedroom for her and stuff like that. So it's quite a nice week, to be honest. And just a little bit of a shout out to Kev, just because he enjoyed this so much from last week's pod. Eric Ebron can get fucked.
Oh, that took a turn.
Whoa! Don't you dare talk about King fucking Eric Ebron like that.
Where's the shandies, Jamie?
Right, we've not brought that up, but next week that's happening.
Yeah. Jamie's down in 30 cans of shandy next week.
And we're giving away 2 copies of the book to 2 people who listen to certain points of the pod, and there'll be a question on Twitter about it. And
Yeah.
If we look, I'm being deadly serious here. The likelihood of me getting through 30 cans in an hour is minimal. That's 16.5 litres.
to be honest,
You don't have a
I really don't care.
But I've come to a fair compromise. I will more than happily start at doing a can every 2 minutes until I can't. So then who can guess? I might get to like 15 or 18 cans. But
You're
I
down
don't
in
think
30.
I'll get 30.
You're down in them.
No, not a chance.
Shotgunning them.
Stone cold stuff.
Fucking hell. Ben, what have you got, mate? Hit or miss?
So mine's a hit, and it's all of the really interesting different dynasty formats that have been popping up on social media over the last few weeks and months, really. So I'm actually very lucky to be part of a couple of them. The Pro Dynasty League, which is looking like being a lot of fun, and that's a really interesting situation where it's going to be 24 team leagues, but 2 copies of each player. So essentially, it works out as a 12-team league. There's 144 teams in total, and essentially the best from year 1 compete in the Champions League as well as their individual league. They then compete in a bigger Champions League to crown an overall winner in year 2, and then obviously in year 3 it'll be the best from year 2. But also there's a twist. If you don't make the playoffs in your own little league in 3 years, you get relegated and replaced by a new owner. So you actually get kicked out of the league if you suck for 3 years. So basically you have to make a decision in year 1. Are you going to push your chips to the table straight away and try and make the playoffs in year 1, which could backfire on you if you're then left floundering, or are you going to pull back, stock up on rookies, and hope they're all ready for the 3rd year so you can make a run for it? So stuff like that, that's really interesting. And of course the Dynasty Rider Bowl, who are 2 guys from the UK, Matt and Luke, who reached out to me and Rich for some advice and have put together a fantastic format which follows essentially the structure of the Ryder Cup in golf, that it's going to be Europe versus the US, and it's going to be a head-to-head competition, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've already been put in my league. I'm in the Nick Faldo division, and I've got some great guys in there, apart from there's a few too many Liverpool fans, but it's a minor problem.
No problem there.
Yeah, whatever. Rich, what have you got, mate? Hit or miss?
I'd say I've got a hit, to be honest. So it's what's been really nice actually recently is just like the positive energy that seems to be going around at the moment with, like, you know, the launch of the UKFL and my book. Like, I've just honestly, it's just been like a wave of like just great positivity, which I've really enjoyed. So long may that continue. And if you guys want to,
don't do that here.
Pardon?
Fuck that, Rich. We don't do that here.
Well, you're literally all just saying how it's the best thing since sliced bread. Can we not go back to that? No. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me, really. Is just the amount of support as well. Like, you know, when I announced kind of the new charity and stuff, like I had a lot of people like reach out to me privately as well and say, you know, that they've maybe had some struggles as well. So it's just nice that even in times like this, where actually there's like a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, that people can still, you know, connect in a positive way. So that's just been nice.
Rich, just on that, how, if people join the UK Fantasy League, how do they then donate? What's the process to create money for the charity? So we've got a Just Giving page, which I think is now, like, it's in the latest blog post. I'm not sure if it's in all of our communications just yet, but if you want to, you don't have to. It's not a compulsory thing. Like, you know, we understand that not everyone can donate to the charity, which is absolutely fine. But if you do, then there'll be a Just Giving link, and just donate what you can, and hopefully we can just raise a decent chunk of change.
Cool, lovely jubbly. Right, I'll finish this off. Surprisingly, I've got a hit. My hit is, God knows if people are listening.
The hit is that you're happy for a change.
That's never a hit. I've had a couple of too many shandies, obviously. I think probably a couple of weeks ago I posted a picture on Twitter of soft play, and we've turned our living room into soft play for Isabel. She's just turned 1. And obviously she can't go to these little soft play, obviously with all this lockdown stuff, but we've got two big sofas, cushions come out onto the floor. We put all the cushions in the middle as well, so she has to climb over them, and she absolutely loves it. And it's so much fun because I get to sit down and do nothing. Well, she runs around and jumps up. Literally, she falls off the sofas head first into the cushions, and you look and you go, oh God, that's gonna hurt her neck. And she just keeps going, and again and again and again. Any parents, just do it. It's so much fun. I would recommend doing it because you just get to lay on your ass on the floor on your sofa cushions while your little boy or little girl has a great time rolling around and potentially, hopefully, not hurting themselves. So yeah, that's my hit.
Nice.
Very nice, mate. Very nice. And that baby is far too happy to be related to you.
Mate, she is literally the smiliest and happiest girl. Little baby. It's just silly. She can't be mine. Cannot be mine.
You can find us on Twitter at kickers_matter. Rich, Ben, where can we find you, your work, and everything you do?
Come on, Rich.
So you can find my personal Twitter is RichKingFF, and for all of my my book and all of that stuff, it's KFantasy_sports. I've actually been lucky enough to get a decent team of writers, so everything's going up on there, so it's fantastic at the moment.
And he forgot to plug at UK Fantasy League, of course.
I'd leave that for you to do.
Just waiting to see if he did that. But
you could do something for it, Ben.
Oh, Rich, don't you think I've got enough Twitter handles to plug? Come on.
Where's that from?
Where's my hat from? It's Pro Football Network, which is where I do all kinds of random stuff, from contracts. I'm gonna throw something at you, even though it's a screen. All kinds of stuff, whether it's from contract analysis, dynasty analysis, a bit of betting work. I serve as an editor there. I get to work with some really great writers and edit their work, and they make my life really easy and make me look really good. And of course, The Touchdown, which is where I run alongside Dan Harris-Gorolov and Cy Carroll, two great guys. Cy really knows his stuff when it comes to college football. Dan is just fantastic. He manages that site for us. He manages the crap out of it. He doesn't leave anything for me and Cy to do that we don't like on the marketing side. He's so good at it, and he's such a good sounding board for us. But then I get to write some stuff about the NFL that it sort of makes sense, I guess, when you read it. I've been doing a team of the decade and doing a look back at the 2019 season and going through week by week and picking out the games that shaped the season. So that's been a lot of fun. Please come and check us out. We are starting to put a little bit of fantasy content up. We're not going to be big in the fantasy content game, but we're gonna have regular articles. We want to have that extra bow to our site. We're really excited for the way that site has grown in the last year, and hopefully it will just go from strength to strength this year.
I'm sure it will.
Nice. Gents, thank you for coming on. It's been brilliant. It's been good fun as it was last week.
As always.
Yeah, whenever you want me back on, I'm more than happy to jump on. It's always fun.
Don't get carried away, Rich.
We'll send you a rundown next week, Rich. All right?
Yeah, if you could do, mate, that'd be great. Cheers.
Don't forget, everyone, we're sponsored by Manscaped that does Jamie's hair every week. Cheers.
How to look like a ball bag.
No, we're really not sponsored by Manscaped. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Peace out.
Cheers.